Everybody, welcome to the Joe Me Show, where today we take a look at the LEGO Custom JHS Bricktania. Hello everybody, I'm Joel, and this is the Inspired JHS Bricktania. I say inspired because this is another one of my inspired builds, but when I say inspired, I'm not talking about the whole entire vessel itself. I'm just talking about some portions like the cabin windows, the overhang at the stern, and this sort of smokestack, I guess. I don't know what you'd call it in professional terms. But before I take a look at the vessel itself, I'll go ahead and take a look at the inspired portion. So these are vessel windows, or the bridge windows rather. These are inspired by the Titanic. We're just kind of taking a look. The Titanic actually has 9 bridge windows, but this one only has 6 using some of these larger pieces. And then back here, this overhang at the stern where the propellers would usually be is kind of inspired by some of the Disney ships, like the Disney Fantasy, that has that overhang at the stern that's kind of hiding the propellers. And then this back portion right here that has the smokestack is inspired by a Lego set. Like one of the Coast Guard ships, one of the big ones, has a smokestack right behind the cabin, pressed up against it. And then this is also just kind of taken from the Titanic, just kind of the look where the these heads for the underdecks are just kind of exploding when it's sinking. So I put a removable underdeck sort of lid right here, so you can see inside there. I'll take a closer look at that in just a second. But those are the only inspired portions for this. That might look familiar to a couple of you that had that deep sea diving set where you'd get the sunken vessel where you could salvage gold and things like that. I tore that set apart so that I could use it on customs like this. Which I actually took this off of a different custom just to use it on here to kind of get an idea where I need to put everything. But moving back from these sections, everything is completely brick built like the cabin. Other than the inspired Titanic windows up there, all of this is just kind of coming out of my imagination to put these things on. And then here's that big smokestack that I was talking about. It's actually pretty small, but the rest of this that isn't the smokestack is just for detail, and then that sticks onto the back there. But as I said, everything back here is just sort of random stuff that came out of my head. Like, these big arch pieces are kind of taking the idea from one of my other custom builds, the JHS Motor Brick, which I was using wheel arches as sort of windows, which this is on the other side as well, right there. And these I thought kind of resembled those, so I put 2 of them on either side of the bridge, kind of poking out here a little bit. But this one is right up against the side of the cabin, so... moving to the back of the bridge, here's the large smokestack, which now you can see where that's attached onto this little piece, which is built into the cabin foundation, when that just sticks onto that. I really like this portion because the smokestack sticks up from the top of the cabin, which in my opinion looks really great with those 2 antennas just sitting off to the side. I really like the look of this one. But moving down to this underdeck hatch, you can peel this up and you can get a slight glimpse at some of that foundation that was just sort of holding things up when I was building so that things didn't fall in. Which, speaking of things not falling in, this little piece back here that you see stick up is there to hold this little hatch up on the other side so that it doesn't fall in if you push on it. See, it'll stop on that little piece there. But moving to the stern, where you have that little Disney and fantasy sort of inspired overhang there, all of this weird stuff that you see back here is just sort of filling this flat spot, so that's not, well, a flat spot. So just more arches here and some vents with that little overhang down there. And then a fun fact about the ship, if you turn to the stern, you can kind of see a resemblance of a face. I don't know if you guys can see it, but to me it kind of looks like an alien because these sort of look like antennas, and then there's your eyes, and then a little mouth there. I don't know, just a weird little thing that I kind of noticed when I was building. But the stern is mainly built up with tiles, like right here. This is all tiles. You got some slopes, some wedges there. There is the JHS Bricktania. If you guys enjoyed this build, or if you enjoyed the video, make sure that you subscribe, watch our season video, like this video, and turn on notifications bell so that you don't miss out on any future uploads just like this one.